Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. We are going to start in 2 to 3 minutes. Let others also join. And just Yes. So I was saying that as I already mentioned in the group yesterday, that those students who are not joining the regular sessions regularly will not able to get their certificate. Okay. So it's up to you. If you are joining the session, then only you will receive the certificate. Otherwise, you are not. We are not going to provide you the certificate for the internship. So if students are not joining, then it is their loss because we are not going to provide them the certificate. So please try to join on regular basis because everything is tracked over here. Okay. So it's up to you that you want to join or not. But for certification, you have to join it. And also present all your proper project for all the 6 weeks. Then only you are going to get that certificate. I guess it is clear to you. Now, still it's 6-5 and only 4 students and has joined. So this is not good. Problem. We are going to start and the students will join in between. So just 2 minutes more, and then we are going to start. Hello, Adityan. What about you? Why haven't you joining the session? Like I have seen you today only because from few days you have was not joining. And let me tell you that you are not going to get the certificate if like this you are going to join in once a week. Okay, so please try to join the session on regular basis. Otherwise, you will not get it. Okay, so guys, we are going to start because I can't wait much. Like already 6, 8, 7 is there. So let me start. So let me just share my screen. Just a second. How many of you have installed Workbench at their end? Just let me know. Okay, that's great. This is good that these students, Manali, Ashwani, these guys have installed it at their end. Okay, so just a second. Let me share my screen and then we are going to first start with the remaining portion of Express, then we will continue with MySQL. Okay, guys. Just Okay, so I can see today at least students have joined the session, and those who have joined now, let me also clear them that if you are going to join the session on regular basis, then only you will get the final certificate. Okay, otherwise you will not able to get the certificate. So for getting your final certification, attendance is mandatory. And as I was already from starting, I have already told you that you will get the certificate, as attendance is also mandatory part of that. So we have the record for those students who were joining on the regular basis, they will get the certificate only. Okay, so let me now just share my screen because now we have to start with the session also. So what we are going to cover in today's session, first of all, we will complete our middleware portion and a bit of a section over there. Just a second. Yes, Manali, you want to say something? Hello, Manali, am I audible to you? Okay, so yeah. Yes. So we were on middleware portion. So I will going to complete like this request validation middleware, then let you know about this error handling middleware, that how it works. And then we are going to start with our MySQL. Okay. So I have already messaged in the group to install it at your end. So you can do that also now. You have to install MySQL Workbench and client for that. Okay. So yeah, let's start with it. Let me just open my VS Code. Just a second. So in the previous session, which was yesterday, we have covered this topic, which is like authentication middleware. How it was working, we have already seen it, that we have to pass an authorization token over there from the postman, like here in postman, we have done that from going to new request. Then if we want to use post request, from here, we are going to select it, enter our proper URL over there, and in the header section we have to pass this key value attribute for that. Okay, so this is what we were doing in yesterday's session. So today we will move further and check with that. Yeah, so here it is, the middleware having name validate user creation. Okay, it is taking three arguments, as it is a middleware, and middleware is a middleman between your request to response cycle. You all have idea about it now, those who have joined the session. Yes. So this is request object, this is response object, and this is next parameter, which is a function which we call our next middleware in the chain. Now see what is happening over here. From your requested body, you want to destructure username, email, and password. Like here, you are going to enter a post command, and in the post method, you want to access the body parts, like from the body, the username, the email, and password of a particular user. Now, these are some criteria or condition written over there in the username, email, and password. Let's check that. What is this? So first of all, if username not found, or username dot length means the username you have entered is less than 3 characters, then just response them with the status code 400 means error, and then let them know with the console that username must be at least of 3 characters. Okay, so what is the first condition? Like if you want to search for a particular user, then his or her name must be greater than 3 letters. Okay, and if the username is not there in your post method, then it will provide you an error accordingly, that username must be at least 3 characters. Same thing with email. If email is not there, and if email is not containing @ with within it, so you have to provide the error like valid email is required. Okay, so these things we have to do. Now if there is no password, like we are checking for a, as a user is going to log in something, some website, what things it will ask: username, email ID, or password. Okay, now we are going to check about this password section. If the password length is less than 6, see, these conditions you have to set so that it will be more uh, properly good way to handle these request types. Okay, so here what we are doing, we are returning a status code 400, and if there will be an error, the error will be generated like this. The password must be at least 6 characters. So like this, we have to handle all this validations process in our middleware, which is validate user creation. Now, what this next will do, this will actually call your next middleware or your response phase after this with all the required, you can say, validations. Okay, or all the validation, it will pass them to other. Now, this is your route, okay, on which we have to put our post request app.post at this route. And what things we have to send? We have to send a username, we have to send an email, we have to send a password. Why we have to send only these 3 things? Because that is only which is fetched from our body section. And to put something in our body section from client side, what we use post method. Okay, now see what will happen when you access this particular route. What will happen? It will call your valid user creation, means it will call your middleware. These things will get checked then, and then the pass will be uh, passed to this request response function. Okay, and accordingly you will get the response at your end. So now we are going to just execute this in our system. Okay, so I am going to my VS Code to execute this. So what we have to do, we have to just change the portion like this. Okay, what I have done over here, first of all, let me also put it at your end so that you can also try it. Just a second. Yeah, this is the code. Now, one thing, if someone of you have seen over here, like what is there? First of all, you have imported the Express library. After that, you have created an instance so that through this instance, you can call the application level methods and all the middlewares. Okay. Now, this is the definition of your middleware, and you are just using that here. Okay. Like in the built-in app.post, after user will go to this endpoint, you want to call your validate user creation middleware for the checking purpose. Okay, but see, one thing is happening over here, that you want to fetch the data from your requested body. So to like whatever data we are going to return inside our postman, suppose if I go over here in postman, just a second. Yes. So inside my postman, if I go to this new request over here, okay, and let me just change it. Okay, get to post. Let me start the code also so that, yeah, to execute it, what we have to do, node space index.js. Like this we can do. It is running on our port 9899. So let me just open my Chrome browser over here. When I just a second. Okay, so if I put it over here like localhost colon 9899, that was the port number over there. So you can see it is providing me that cannot get slash because we are requesting for a post request. No get is there. So that's why we are getting no information from there. Now, what we are going to do, we will just go to the postman. We'll give the post condition over here at this particular route. Okay, means I have to copy this. Then go to my new request section. Here, what I have to do, here I have to change it. The post is changed. This is my URL on which I want to send this post method. Okay. And after that, what was there in our code? It was like API and then user. So I am just copying this bit of portion from there because at this endpoint, you want to post your request. Okay. So that's why we have to do that. Just a second. This is coming in between. Okay. So here I will just paste that simply like HTTP localhost 9899 APIs at user point. Now go to your body section. This is the requested.body from where your data will be fetched. Okay, so the data will be in raw format in JSON format. Okay, JSON means JavaScript object notation. So which things we have to pass? First of all, the username, I guess. So the username is there. Suppose I am passing my name as the username. Then what we have to pass? We have to pass email. Just a second. Okay. Here what we have done? We have passed the email like this. vanch@123gmail.com. Okay. Then what we have to pass? We have to pass password. So we are doing that like this. You can put the password also. Suppose if I want to pass vanch123 as password. Okay. So if I'm going to send it now, we will come to get an error. I will tell you that why we are going to get some error. Let me just pass it from here. Okay. So are you able to see? We are getting the error. Like, let me just go to my console over here. Uh, just a second. Let me resize it. Okay. So cannot destructure property like username from requested body as it is undefined. Just a minute. What we were fetching? Username, email, and password. It is unable to fetch these things from our Postman body. Why? Because we are not using a middleware like app.use express.json. Why we are using express.json? Because as you all know that it helps to parse the data from your requested body to the backend. Okay, then only you can fetch the data using this middleware. So that's why we are using it. Now just let me one more time execute it. Okay, and if I'm going to send it now, let's see that what we are getting. So are you able to see the output for this? That user created successfully. Okay, why user is created successfully right now? Because now only they can check the data at your end, that is it correct or not. Okay, so I guess it is clear. This is what you have to do. So just provide me the screenshot of this in the chat box so that I can get an idea about it. You have to use express.json in the code. I just want to know that from you guys also that what was the error, but I missed that. Yeah. So this is something you have to know about it. That this express.jsons, through this you can actually get the data which is there in your request.body. Okay, because that is in JSON format and not understandable by machine directly. So for that we have to pass it in a particular form through express.json. Then we can do that. Okay, Vivek, no problem. Okay, so guys, please do it at your end. Let me know if someone of you is facing any error. Okay, till then, let's try other variations also for it. Like, let me start it through nodemon. Nodemon space index.js. Like many conditions we have put it over here. So let's check are the condition true or not. Okay, so for that, let me go to my postman section. Here, what I am doing that changing the password only to VAN. And if I send it now, okay, it is showing me bad request. Wait, I have to, I guess, close it. For other user, let's try it, not for Vanch. So for username, the length must be greater than 3. Okay, so I am putting it like RA. Okay. The email must contain at the rate. So we are putting only, we are removing the at the rate from it. Password must be of 6 character. We are also compromising with that. Okay. So now if I'm going to send it, so it is still showing me this. We have to actually again start this. So let me just copy it. Okay. New request. from this, just a second. Okay, I have changed it. I have to do it to post. Go to the body section. In the body section, what we have to do? We have to go to this JSON format is there. Okay. Now I will just post these things over there. Like we have already written over here, just copying that and pasting that over here, body section, which is JSON. Okay. And here what we have to do? We have to put the requested URL, which is this. Okay. Then let's try to send it again. Okay, so are you able to see that what error we are getting? That username must be at least 3 characters. Like for the first condition, you get rejected. So that's why it will not check your email and password. So can also check it at your end. Just make it proper name like Ravi. Okay. And suppose if I am sending it now, so are you able to see now it is saying valid email is required. How we can create it to a valid email? Just put @ over here. Now, if again I will send it, now it is showing error for password must be at least six characters. So for everything, it is checking the condition and then providing you the response. Okay. So now if I send it, then it will say you that, okay, is created successfully. You have all the credential in right format. So that's why you have able to log in that. So just provide me the output, everyone. Like 10 students have joined. So I want it from everyone. If someone is facing any issue, then they can uh, tell me so that I can help them with that. What we have done, I have already telling you one more time that created a middleware which will check your username, email, and password. Then on this particular route, when you will hit this particular endpoint, this middleware will get logged and it will check all the requirements over there with username, password, and email. If all the things are correct, then only you will get this message like user created successfully. So I guess it is clear to all of you. So just try to execute this at your end also. Okay. I have already pasted the code. Anyone? Okay. Good. Manali. Others also share their output in the chat box. Okay. Good, Isha. Yes. You have not put it at the rate. That's why you are getting that. So good. You have at least try the condition to be false. Okay. Good, Abhishek. User created successfully. Okay. That's good. So this is good that if every one of you are providing this output in the chat box, that means that you are really doing it. Like for Abhishek and Isha, I can see that they have checked all the conditions over there, which we have executed it. Okay. So like this, we can use the Postman tool to send our request at the client from the client end. Okay. So if anyone is going to enter the wrong credentials, then what will happen? You will just get the error like that, which we were already seeing over here, like user created successfully. Before that, we were seeing that if username is not correct, suppose if I will only put over here with 2 letters and then send it, then you can see we are getting the error like username must be at least 3 characters. And from where it is coming? It is coming from our condition, which we have already discussed in this particular code. Like here, we have to first of all check for the username and then for its length. If the username is not there and the length is not there, then you can provide the error output over there. Okay. So just try to do it at your end. Only 2 students have shared it right now. What about others? Okay, Subramanyam, no problem. But have you done it at your end? Or if there is any doubt, you can ask, okay? Okay, okay, great. Now just give me 2 minutes, okay? Okay, Harsh, why you have connected with your phone? It is mandatory to attend the session from laptop, guys. I have already tell you it multiple times. For 1 2 days, I can see that. Okay, so just give me 2 minutes. Okay. Okay, no problem, Harsh. But actually, I was not saying about you only. I was talking about others also who have not shared the output in the chat box. So just a second. I guess it is clear. Now we can move further. This portion is clear. Now, error handling middleware. I have already told you that what error handling middleware will do. If any error will come, it will
That
handle
is
that accordingly.
yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Abhishek. Yeah, now I guess it is visible.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So in this error handling middleware, see what is happening over here. First of all, it will take 4 parameters. Why 4 parameters? Because one parameter. Okay. So in this error handling parameter, there are 4 parameters. First one is error, second one is request, third one is response, and other one is next. Okay. So these three are the normal parameters for a particular middleware. Like we have already discussed about request object, response object, and this next function. This error is something through which you can provide the particular error for that middleware. Okay. So through this, you can handle that like console.error. Error dot stack means you can actually define what a particular error is having in this particular middleware. Okay. And like that, you will get a response like 500 status code in JSON format. You will get message and error occurred. Otherwise, process.env.node.env production and related to that error. This process.env is something which will come to know about in the upcoming sessions, that your credentials are stored actually in this particular file, which is not pushed to your GitHub. Okay. And it is some with the file where all your important things like password, email, API keys, secret tokens, JWT tokens are stored. So that's it regarding this. Now let's see about RESTful API a bit and then do a code related to it so that we can check about all the methods. Okay. Then this will be done. And then we are going to start with our MySQL workbench. So just a second. Okay. So understanding RESTful APIs, REST, representational state transfer. The full form of this REST is RE for representational, S for state, and T for transfer, is an architectural style for designing networked application that has become the standard for web services. First of all, what is API? API is application programming interface. Okay. It will act as a bridge between your client and server side. Suppose in the real life example, if I tell you about what is API, you go to a restaurant, you ordered something. Okay, the waiter will come to you. He noted down your orders. He go to the chef, provide them your orders. Okay, and when the order is prepared, chef will call the waiter to receive that particular order, and that then waiter will provide you their respective order. Okay, so what will happen for the same thing? You don't have to uh, just go to the chef only. You just uh, call your waiter. You have given something order to them, and they have provided you the result for that. So you don't have to actually know about the backend process, what happened over there between chef and waiter. You just want the result from them, and they have provided it to you, irrespective of other things. So this is how API works. Okay, and here we are going to see about RESTful API, which is used in the network application that become the standard for the web services. Now, RESTful API provide a flexible, lightweight way to integrate application and enable communication between different systems. So, okay, if you are going to use this thing in your program, then it will make it lightweight and flexible to communicate through different systems. Okay, now what are the core concept for is? First of all, resource. Then there is representations, stateless, uniform interface. Resource means everything is a resource, like user, product, order, purchasing history. Everything over there in your application is basically a resource. Then representation. Resource can have multiple representation, like in JSON format, XML format, URL encoded format, and other things. Stateless. Each request contain all necessary information. Like suppose if we are talking about CRUD operation, then there will be create, read, update, and delete portion for that particular resource. So that is tracked over here. Then uniform interface, consistent way to access and manipulate resource. Now, RESTful use HTTP request to perform CRUD operations or on resources. Okay, on a different resource, you can perform these resource methods over there, which is create, read, update, and delete, which are represented as URL. REST is a stateless, meaning each request from a client to a server must contain all the information needed to understand and process the request. What does that mean? That suppose if you are passing a request to the server side, then that request must be properly structured. Okay, there will be no part left in between them, because that's why this stateless concept come, that rest is stateless means it will not able to get the missing portion from there in the URL. So for that you have to provide them the proper structured request over there. Now, if I'll let you know about this HTTP method and their usage. So all of you are familiar with the methods part, that is get, post, put, patch, and delete. We don't use patch or mut. We use get, post, put, and delete in our projects. So first of all, to retrieve some resources or to retrieve information about the resources, we use this get method. Every one of you is familiar with this now. Then why we use post? We use post to create a new resource. Like as we already have already seen in the previous example, if you want to create a new user, then the user is actually a resource for your application. So that's why we were doing that. Okay, then this put. Why the put? If you want to update the username, then you have to use this. So update a resource completely means the you have already idea about resources. A product can be a resource, your user can be a resource, and order can be a resource. So if you want to change anything in your particular resource, then you have to use put method. Then update a resource partially. Like see, if you want to change only some part of your you can say resource, then you can use patch. But we also use for the partial resources the put method over there. Then there is delete method. Why we use delete method? To delete a particular resource. If you want to delete a user, okay, then you can delete that also from your database. Now there is an example. We are going to just check with this, okay, and then we'll try to execute it in our VS Code and then move to the MySQL part. So let's see it what is happening here. Like this is a bit lengthy code, but quite simple one. We are going to just go line by line and we'll see about that upcoming output will be. ठीक है. So first of all, const express equal to require express means what we have to do, we have to import our express library here if we want to create an application level middleware and to use other method also. Now const app equal to express. Through this line, you are creating an instance of your express app, which is having name app. Now through this, you can call any middleware, you can call any method, whatever you want in your application. If I want to make it router level, then what I have to do? I have to append express.router. Okay, so that will make it router based so that for a specific endpoint, you will get the output. Now see, here we are using app.use express.json. Why we are using it? Suppose from post method, if you have put something in your request.body, so your server will access that and provide you output accordingly. Now this built-in memory database, what it is doing, it is storing two elements over here with the ID, name, and email, like John Doe email and ID, Jane Smith and his email. Okay. Now this is an in-memory array. Okay. Like here we are not using database. We are just creating two elements over there, which will be stored in my this users array. Now what you are doing, go to app.get at this particular endpoint or route, okay, and provide me response.json users. Why response.json is used over here, not response.send? Because through this JSON method, I can get to see these, you can say users here in the particular format, which is JSON format. Okay. So when I will execute this code, I will let you know that how it is coming in JSON format. Okay. So all the users through this bit of code, what will happen? It will call your users array and print whatever is written inside it in the JSON format. Okay. I guess this bit of portion is clear to every one of you. Okay. We have covered this portion. Now there is app.get at a particular endpoint. Now you can see this is the router parameter, means instead of this ID, as there is a prefix colon, I have to pass a particular number. Okay. On that number, some operation will be performed. So let's see what is written over here. When user will go to this particular ID, what will happen? First of all, users.find means you in this particular array, you are actually implementing a function find, means it will search something on based of your user ID, means on the ID which you have provided in the URL, it is going to find a particular user. Okay. And if that will be matched, so see what will happen. It will parse that ID in the integer format. Okay. And then it will be checked to the user ID, which is already there inside your array. If all the things will match, then only it will response you with the username for that ID. Suppose if I pass here ID 2, okay, then it will check, okay, from the parsing ID, the ID name is 2. Is that existing? If that ID is there in my user array? Yes, the ID is there. So the condition will meet successfully and you will get the response this. If the user is not there, if user is not there, you will get the response that user not found. Okay, basically they have done one thing, that they are checking if the user is there and if the user is not there. If the user is there, then you will get the output accordingly if the condition will match. Otherwise, you will get the error like user not found or status code 404, which uh, is used for error. Okay. Then the post section. Let's see about this post section. What is happening in this post section? When we enter this endpoint, which is API users, const new user. You are using a new user. What it will do? By default, it will add ID. How it will add ID? Suppose if you want to enter a new user into that existing array, which is users, Okay, so we have to use for that the post command. Actually, we have already seen that through post, we can create a new user or new resource. Okay, so for that, I am using this app.post. Now see what will happen when ID will be like there are two elements. Suppose if you want to give the post method, then it will increment the ID from the last one. Like here 2 is there, so it will append ID automatically to 3 from user.length plus 1. Now it will ask you two things. In post section, all of you are familiar now that we have to go to body section. In JSON format, we have to pass name and email. Why these two things I have to pass? Because as you can see, from request.body, it is asking that name. From request.body, it is asking that name. Okay. Then you can push that. If you have posted it, what will happen? It will users.push new user. Like what will happen? If all the credential will match, then what will happen? It will push this new set of user to your array. Like push is a method we have already covered in JavaScript portion, that push is a method through which you can append something to your existing array. Okay. So this new user will, all the details will be pushed to your users array over there. Otherwise, and then you will get the response like status code 201 successfully created the new user. Then similarly for put means to update something. So suppose if you want to update a user having ID 3. Okay, so how you are going to do that? You are going to pass that 3 in your URL. It will be matched that the user with ID 3 is there in the array or not. If that will be there, then only you can change accordingly the username or email, whatever you want to. Otherwise, you will get the error that user not found. I guess it is quite simple and you have the idea about it that how we are doing it. Now app.delete, simple thing. Just give them an ID and provide the delete function operation over there. So what will happen? See, you are going to provide a particular ID. It will check the ID. Okay. And if the ID is there, what it will do? It will just like this. In this portion, we are just deleting it. How we are deleting it? Like if the user will not found, it will provide us the output. See, if there is three, you can say three users in this particular array, and I want to delete a user with ID 5. So I will get an error. So that's why I will get error like user not found. Now, if I want to delete it, then how we are going to delete it? We are going to use splice operator over there, which will use this user index. In this user index, I have actually find the index of that particular element of the array. Okay. And then you will going to delete it at the 0th index. Means you are going to store it for once. And then when it will be find it, you are going to delete that accordingly. And this will be listening at a port 8080. Means at this particular port, your website is going to host. So let's try to execute it. Let's try it with our postman. Then it will be more clear. Okay, so this is basically how we do this operation method middlewares through our postman and Express with the help of Express. So that's why we are going to our VS Code to just check these things. Okay, here I have done it. Now what I have to do, let me just cross all the request phase from here. We'll go to my postman, start a new request. And when I'm starting a new request, first of all, see, for get, I can show it from here also, from browser also. So let's try to first see from browser, like where I have to do, go 8080. Just a second, 8080. When I hit this enter button, what should happen? The users will console over here. Okay, sorry, I guess we have to go to another route. Let me check. App.get API/user means at this particular endpoint, you will get the all the information regarding that. Okay, now let me just enter it. Okay, so are you able to see what the output is coming? Those two array which we have stored in memory. Okay, they are here, like ID is there, John is there, and ID2 is there, Jane Smith is there. I guess it is clear. Now, what we have to check, this get we have done. Suppose I want to check for a particular ID. I want to get information for a particular ID. Then how can I do that? Suppose for ID2, I only want my data. So I will just append simply this 2 and press the enter. Okay, now pretty print. And are you able to see that from 2 user, I am only getting the 1 user data. Suppose if I enter the invalid ID, then let's see the output. You can see here it is written that message user not found, and everything is coming over here in JSON format. So that's why we have used over there response.json, so that everything will come in the JSON format. This bit of portion we have already done. Now let's go to this post. Okay. At this particular endpoint, you have to do something. Like what you have to do, you have to provide name and you have to provide email, and then it will be pushed to your array, existing array, which is users. So let's do that and let's check that at our end. Okay. So for that, let me just do one thing. Copy this bit. Wait. Like at this particular endpoint, I have to send the request. So that's why I am copying it. We'll go to my VS Code, start a new request over here, make it to the post, paste it the URL over here. Okay. Then what we have to do? We have to go to our body portion, a raw, in the raw section in JSON format, I have to provide it. Like what I have to provide? First of all, the name. Okay. Like the name must be, suppose initially my name. Okay. And what was the other thing over there? Let me check. Name, ID. I am not giving ID to them because it will be incremented with each and every upcoming user over there. So let me just check that what was 8/2. Yeah, name was there and email was there. So let me just put it email also there. How are we going to do that? Email and then punch@123 gmail.com. Okay, it must be in double quote so that it will be a JSON format. Now I am going to send it. Okay. So as I have sent it, are you able to see I am getting a response like this? Means that ID3, how ID will come over here? Because ID is by default set it to user.length plus 1. What does it user.length means? That whatever the size of array is, push plus 1 make it that the ID number. Okay. Now we can also check that is it really pushed to my array or not. So for that, what we have to do? We have to search for this API users. And when I am going to enter this, now going to pretty print it. And are you able to see now there are 3 entries. With ID3, we have Vansh and the email is already there. Okay, so like this, we can play with our resources. Now, let me do one more entry over here. Suppose Ishika, okay, and then I will put it over here. The ID will be now become from 3 to 4. Let's try to see it. Yes, just a second. I have to again do that because from Postman it is not taking one more time for it. Just a second. Let me close it. Let me reopen it. Yes, here select the post method. We'll go to my this section, copy it, paste it over here. Try it at your end. Okay. In the body section, what we have to do? Go to this raw format. From here, select JSON and provide the required things over here. I am just going to copy it from here now. Okay, just change a bit from them. Okay. Suppose name I want to be Jenny and same we can provide in email. Now let's do it. Okay, so they have sent it with ID 5 and name Jenny and similar for email. Okay, so you can also check it when I will refresh it. You will see over here 4 different values. Okay, so like this we can 5 values are there. Like for Ishika, they have already sent it. I was thinking that they have not sent it. but they have done it for Ishika also. Okay, now let's update these things. So for that, what we have to do, we have to select a put method. Okay, then whatever ID, like ID was the criteria to change or update something. So suppose I want to change for fourth ID. Okay. What was the fourth ID member name? It was Ishika. So for Ishika, I am going to change her name and email according to my requirements. So for here, I will change it to like for ID4, what I'm going to do, I'm going to change it with name Ravi. I guess Ravi I have used. So suppose Aniket. Okay. And Aniket at the rate gmail.com. Whatever we want, we can do that. Aniket at the rate example.com. So let's send it. Okay. So are you able to see ID4 now having this name and email? See, when I will refresh it, just check this bit of portion. It will be updated now. Let me pretty print it. Okay. So are you able to see for ID? We have now not Ishika name over there. We have now Aniket over there. So this is the benefit of using put query. Now, if you want to delete, you can also delete that. We have used ID4 to delete something. Just send this delete over there and we are going to check it from here that is Aniket deleted or not. So let's check. Yes, you can see here only 4 IDs are there. Now Aniket is deleted from here. So is it clear to everyone that how we are doing it? Lengthy code, but quite easy. Just you have to use the postman for all these queries. No, Vishal, we are going to learn MongoDB also. Don't worry. Because few students also wants about to know with MySQL. So I will just give 1.5 session to it because it will be helpful for you to get to know about some different queries. Then we are going to cover it with MongoDB. So don't worry about that. Okay, so just try it at your end, guys. Okay, who has shared it? Okay, great, Vivek. Post, put, get. Okay, delete. Okay, great, Vivek. This is good that we have executed all each and every part for it. Good. What about others? Just try it at your end. I have provided the code in the chat box. Okay, you just have to just let me know about delete and put request over there. Okay, so just provide the output for it. Some of you might give it for put and other will give it for delete. So just do that. Okay, great, Shraddha. Okay, good. Someone who is not able to execute this code facing any problem, then they can ask. Just let me know that are you able to understand that what we have covered up to now? Just in chat box response with yes or no so that I can get a fair idea about it. Or if you want me to repeat it, then I can definitely going to repeat that. Everyone try to execute it. Then we are going to cover next part. Okay, good, Manali. Okay, so this is good that you guys are executing it. Now we are going to see about MySQL and SQL. Okay, so I have already told you to install MySQL Workbench and client line argument so that we can execute our code from there. So let me just start with it. That first of all, what is the difference between SQL and MySQL? Any one of you who wants to answer this? Okay, good, Abhishek. Yeah, that's good. Harsh, Vishal, and Vatsal, are you guys typing something? Yes. Good, Vatsal. Short and crisp answer. Like SQL, structured query language, as the name is suggesting that it is a language, okay, which we use to interact with our databases. Like all of you are familiar with a database that the data is stored over here. We have to manipulate that data according to our use. Okay. So to manipulate that particular data, we use a query over there, which is known as structured query language. We use SQL to actually talk to our database. Okay. Now, why we use SQL? Because we can create and manage databases through it, insert, update, delete, and retrieve the data. The meaning of actually manipulating your data means you can update that, you can insert some element into the your table accordingly. Okay. And also it manage users with their permissions. Like you can set the permission according to that. So this is how what is SQL. Now MySQL is actually your relational database management system, which uses SQL as a language to interact with the operations. Okay. So it implements SQL and provide a way to store, organize, and query the data. Because in a database, we are going to store something. Okay. We are going to store it in an organized way so that the data can be handled accordingly. Also, one more thing that in relational databases, the data is stored in rows and column format. Okay. So here we are going to use tuples and attributes. Tuples means row and attributes means column. So in this particular format, this data will be stored over MySQL database. Okay. So what we are going to do, first of all, we will see that how many MySQL databases or relational databases are there in our system. Then going to write some code to create a database. Okay, how to use it, how to create a table inside it, and other things over there. So let's start with that. Now just raise those students who have installed MySQL Workbench at their end. Just raise your hands. Okay, what's Vatsal, Shraddha, Vishal, Manali. Great. These four students have already done that. And what about others? So those who have not installed it, okay, Harsh also, good. Okay. So those who have not installed it, guys, you can install it directly from their official website. Okay. Like when you are going to install it, just you have to also set the environment path. That is something which will be challenging for students. So I am just going to tell you that how you can set the particular environment variable over there. For that, what you have to do, just go to this PC in C drive, go to program files over here. Okay. Here in program files, you will see MySQL. Yeah, here it is MySQL. Go to this bin file over here. Okay, copy this particular path, copy the whole path up to bin. Okay, and then what you have to do, you have to open your environment variable, open it. Now go to this environment variables. In the system variable, you have to change the path. So in system variables, click on this new. Okay, just a minute. In this edit, Oh, why it is showing me this? Oh, wait, I guess you have to store it. Oh, sorry. You have to go to this user variable, go to new and then provide the value. Like here you can see I have already given the path for my file, which is C programs file MySQL shell 8.0 and the bin format over there. Okay, so like this you can set it from here and then just close this by OK, clicking on this OK. Okay, this is how you can set it. Okay, no problem. So let me just tell you that how Workbench will work and how does it look. So this is the Workbench interface. Where to log in it, it wants a password from you, whatever you have set it. This is the local host 3306, your root username. Here we have to provide our password. So everyone just put their password over here to use it. Okay. When you enter the password, it will show all the databases which you have created. Okay. Inside these databases, the tables are there. For a particular table, you can check the content, like what are the column name over there. Okay. And what is the content over there. Suppose this employee ID is there. You can see over here, the column is employee ID and data related to that will be shown over here. But this is the way. From here you can refresh it, you can close it. From here you can check all the databases from here. Suppose same thing I want to do it from the terminal. So for that I am going to use this MySQL command line that will be also installed with your MySQL workbench. Here you have to provide the password first. So provide the password accordingly, which is 1@2006. Like this I have provided the databases. Now here, when we open the workbench, all the databases name which are relational database or store the data in table format are listed over here. Now, if I want to show those databases here, so for that we have to write the command show databases. Okay. And you can see all the databases which were there are coming over here. Okay, so this is how we can actually see all the built-in databases which are there. We can use these databases. We can show, check that how many tables are there in a particular database. Suppose if I want to use this bank DB, or you can say this Express DB, I can use that like this. Use space. Use is actually right now you are outside this database. If you want to go into a particular database, you can use this use command. Like we were using cd command to go to inside a particular folder. Right now we are using this use command to go into that particular database. So use express db. Okay. You can see database is changed and now I am inside my express db. Now let's see, is there built-in tables over there? So show tables. Okay, so the user table is there. If I want to check the content, what is the content in my user table? So for that, there is command which is select asterisk from user. So we are going to cover each one of these commands one by one. Okay, so just a second. Let me first start with that how you are going to create a particular database, a new database. What was the clear? Yes, no. Yes. So for creating a database, you can create it like create database and then the name of database. Suppose I want to create like Vansh is already there. So let me create it. Database demo is there or not? Okay, so let's create a database name demo. It is saying that created database, we have provided a particular query. It is saying query is okay and one row is affected, means that they have created the database at your end. If I want to check the database, what I have to do? Show databases. Okay. Then you can see from here, demo will be there. Yes, demo is at second place over here. Now, if you want to use this demo, then how to switch to demo? Use demo. Okay. And you can see database change means you are now inside your demo database. Here you are going to create some tables. So we are going to see that also. But before that, just provide me the output of this portion of your code that are you able to do that at your end or not? Just go to that command line argument and shell, or you can say command line client of MySQL. Here you have to perform two, three queries. First of all is show databases. As the name is suggesting, it will provide you all the database name over there. Then second one, use that particular database name. DB name means instead of this DB name, you have to provide the database name. Now, if you want to create a table inside it, for that we can going to use create table, then the table name and the attribute regarding that. So don't worry about that. We are going to do that also. Just provide the output of this bit of portion where all the database name are listed at your end. Okay. So just paste the screenshot over here. Those who are not able to share it in the chat box, just do that. Okay. I am not getting any output. What happened, guys? Are you facing some error or what? Okay. Good, Manali. Yes, you can also write in code in Workbench, but I generally prefer this command line. So this is also correct way. Like Manali has already shared the output in the chat box. Like here, she is writing her code over here in the client Workbench. Okay. And I am using the terminal method from here, this interface. Okay. So no problem in that. Now we are going to create a table. So to create a table, you have to use a command create table with the table name over there. Okay. So let's just create a table inside our database, which is already demo, and we are switched to that database. Just a second. So sorry. Create table, and SQL is actually a case, not a case sensitive language. What is case sensitive language? That you have to define, you have to keep noting that the capital letters are in use or small letters are used. You have to just check that accordingly. Okay. So we are going to create table over here, and the table name must, so suppose I am putting over here a student's database name. Okay. Then we have to actually provide them the column names, like which columns I want to be there in my table. So for that, we are going to provide them. First of all, the format is you have to provide the name of the column. Then you have to tell them that which uh, data type values are you going to store inside that particular table. Okay. Then I for every entity to be entered in my table, I want it to be auto incremented. So for that, we can use this auto increment attribute over there. What this auto increment will do, that it will change the value of ID one by one. Okay. With every new entry, it will change it accordingly. And also I want to make it primary key. So for that, primary key. Okay. This is the first column. What we have defined in our first column, that it must be auto incremented, and then it will be a primary key. Primary key means all the value over here in this is unique. Okay. Now we are going to create name. Here, there is no string type of database. Here is the database varchar. Okay. Varchar means here we have to provide the characters up to which you think your name will take the letter. So for example, I am taking 50 for this. Okay. Now after name, let's provide age, the data type int. Okay. And last attribute we can also add, like suppose if I want to add grade or course, whatever you want, you can add that. Okay. So suppose if I am adding course over here. Okay. This course, now this course is also a string format. So we have to provide it with varchar. And inside varchar, we have to provide the actual length of the characters which we can store. Okay. So this is how we have to do it. Now you have opened this parenthesis. You have to also close it. So I am closing it in this line again, then append this and put enter. You can see query is okay. Zero rows affected means we have created our structure for the table. Suppose if I want to now use show tables. Okay. So are you able to see now student is there, but before creating this layout, the students table was not there. So this is how we can create a particular table in our MySQL. So just try to do it. This is the code. Let me check. Database change. Okay, good. Shraddha. So this is how we can create a table. Right now, we have not inserted any value into our table, but we just have created the table. So suppose if I want to see the structure right now, so select asterisk from students. Students is the data name. So it is saying me that empty table is there. Select asterisk from student is basically used to get the data which is there inside this particular table. Right now, we don't have provided any data inside our student table. So that's why we are not getting any, you can say, data for it right now. And it is providing us empty set. Now let's enter some content into it. So to enter the content, we are going to write insert into, then the name of your table. For me, it is students. So I am going to write it here, students. After that, specify at which column you want to add the value. So I want to add it for name. I want to add it for age, and I wanted to add it for course. Why for all these three? Because ID is actually auto incremented. Means if I am not going to enter the value of a particular ID, it will increment by one with each new value. Okay. Now you have to provide the values for this columns which you have selected. So enter the value like this. Now, first of all, name. So the name must be in varchar format. Suppose I am going to enter my name. So this is the way to enter your name. Then the age. Suppose age I have given 21. Then the course. So you can provide your course. I'm going to provide it like this. Okay. Like this, we have set it some values over there. Now, if I enter this, you can see we are getting query. Okay, one row affected. Okay, now let's retrieve the data from our table because we have given some entry over there. So let's check is that stored in it or not. So for that, we are going to use select asterisk. Means select all the columns data from the table name, which is students. Okay, let's try to see. Yes. Now you can see ID is there, name is there, age is there, and course is there. For name, age, and course, value 1, 21, and ID we have stored. But the ID is actually automatically set it to 1 because we are using auto increment function over there. For the initial phase, the value was 0. Okay. So this is how we are going to do it. I guess it is clear to you. Just providing this screenshot in the chat box so that you can see the command from here. Many of you have the idea for it also, but still we are covering it from basics. And actually MySQL is very simple language. Okay. Like you have to just manipulate the data accordingly. And that is what we are doing. Okay. Good, Manali. What about others? Only she is executing the code. You can also try it at your end. Just provide me the output. Okay, good, Shraddha. Okay, so like this, you can insert multiple values over here. So suppose if we want to add another value over here, we can also do that. Same thing we have to do. Like this is the command for it. I am just going to repeat it with different values so that there will be multiple value and we can operate on them accordingly. So insert into the name of your table. Suppose for me it is students. Okay. Then you have to provide the attributes where you want to change the insert the value. These are the attributes over there. Then this values, and in this values you have to provide like Ravi as the name, 22 as the age, and CSE as the branch, suppose. Okay, this is it. One row affected, and they have added the value from it at your end. So if I'm going to see that, so yes, ID, name, age, course, Ravi value has been added over here. So like this, you can add multiple values over here. Suppose right now I am using select SJs, means I want each and every column to be printed over there. But if I want to see only specific columns, like for name and course, I want to check that. So for that, what I will going to do, I am going to use select, then name, comma, other column name separated by a comma means course, and from where you want to select them, from the students table. So let's do that. Yes. Now you can see only two columns are printed at our end. Why two columns are printed? Because you are specifying them that I want the data from the name column and from the course column only. This asterisk means all the columns in the table. Okay. So pretty simple. You can also provide different conditions over here. Like you can manipulate the data accordingly. Yeah. So just a second. Suppose now if I want to only see the data for those students who has the age greater than 21. So according to us, if we see over here for age greater than 21, only Ravi is there. Okay. So let's see, are we getting the output for Ravi only or not? So select asterisk means all the column from our table, which is students. Spelling must be correct. Okay. And now I am going to put the condition where, see, this is the condition where he will, it will be evaluated like age must be greater than 21. Okay. Just check that. Yes, we are getting output only for Ravi. You can see there were two entities over there in my table, but I am getting over one output for Ravi because the condition which we have provided here, the age must be greater than 21. Okay, so that's why we are only getting Ravi. Suppose if I make it greater than equal to, then both the condition will match for age and we will get the output accordingly. So here what I'm going, suppose age equal to 21. Or you can also make it greater than equal to. So let's check it. Yes. So now you can see for Vansh, we are also getting the data. For Ravi, we are also getting the data because for Vansh, the age is 21. Condition will match. Condition is true. So you are providing the data for each and every column of that particular person. And for 22, the condition is true. That's why you are getting it for them also. So just create it at your end. The assignment is you have to first of all insert three values over here. Like two values are already there. Insert one more value over there. Then put the condition first of all where name is whatever name you want to ask. So first of all for the name and second one for the age. So just do that. Good Manali. Manali and Shraddha is only sharing the output. No worries. You can, if someone of you are facing any problem, then they can ask. Otherwise, just note down the queries, try it at your end also. We, in the tomorrow session, let me know about that, whatever error will be there at your end, okay, while doing it. So I'm not going to uh, tell more concept right now because I can see only few students are responding and some of them have not installed it at their end, or otherwise they are facing any issue in installing. So just let me know about that. Up to then, others can do that thing, that insert another value to this table and put the where condition with a particular username. I am going to check that. Has anyone done it? Sorry, Manali. You have added the values like okay, let me check it for Shraddha. Like good, the name is Shraddha over there, and we are getting the output. Three values are added. Good, Shraddha. Yes, Manali, you want to say something? Okay, let me check it for Vivek. Okay, Vivek had created good. Good, Vivek. And after this, you can also use where functioning over there. Good, Vishal. Okay, because you used here the question mark, so I was actually asking that is there any error or what? Okay, okay, great, guys. This is good. Okay, so great, guys. Those who have shared the output in the chat box, well done. And others also who have joined today's session, because today the strength is good. Up to 7:30, I can see only 5 students were there in the previous sessions. So I was just saying this for your benefit only, because the management is very strict and they have already told us that those students who are joining the session only get the certificate. So I have already told you, at the end of internship, don't blame me that why we haven't got the certificate, because I have to make a proper list that those students who are joining the sessions regularly, I have to note down their names, and that name will be forwarded if those students have already also presented all their projects for the certification. Okay, so don't take it easy, and join continuously, prepare the project, present it to me up to Monday, then only you will get the certificate. Okay, good, Vivek, good, Manali. Yes, now there are multiple attributes. Great, great. Okay, so that's good, guys. That's it for the session. Tomorrow we are going to see that how we are going to update some value, how to delete something from it. Okay, then what is the like query, descending, if we want to order by something. So these things we are going to check it, like how to delete a table, how to delete a database. So don't worry about that. We are going to do that, and then a bit of VS Code section where all these things which we are doing over here, like right now we are doing it in terminal. In the tomorrow session, we are going to do it through our VS Code, that we will connect our workbench to our VS Code, and whatever query we are actually running in VS Code will be done in workbench also. Okay, so for in tomorrow session, I will actually take it uh, for half, like 2 hours. So it will be completed over there. And then from the Wednesday, Thursday, on Friday, we are going to start with MongoDB. Okay. So thank you so much for joining the session. If there is no query, then you can leave the session. Otherwise, you can ask that. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you,
Thank
Nine.
you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay. So Sushmita, Harsh, and Subramanyam, is there any query? Otherwise, you can also leave the session. Hello, Subramanyam, you want to say something? I guess.